least to most sensitive zodiac signs. Some people can take criticism like it's background noise, and others feel it echo for days. A single tone shift, a delayed reply, or a careless comment can land very differently depending on how sensitive someone is wired to be. And here's the truth. Sensitivity isn't weakness. It's emotional reactivity and perception. Today, we're ranking the zodiac from least to most sensitive using real psychology. And trust me, the top of this list will explain why some people feel hurt before you even finish the sentence. Number 12, Aquarius, emotionally insulated. Aquarius ranks last because sensitivity requires emotional permeability, and Aquarius is built with insulation. Psychology links them to emotional detachment and cognitive processing, meaning they analyze feelings instead of absorbing them. Criticism, tension, or emotional chaos rarely penetrates deeply. They don't take things personally because they don't internalize emotional energy the way others do. Aquarius may understand that something was hurtful without actually feeling hurt. Their low sensitivity isn't coldness, it's protection through distance. Emotions stay conceptual, not visceral, keeping them steady but hard to emotionally reach. Number 11, Capricorn, controlled sensitivity. Capricorn is more sensitive than they appear, but they regulate it tightly. Psychology ties them to emotional suppression and delayed processing, meaning they feel things later and in private. In the moment, they stay composed, logical, and task-focused. Criticism does sting, but Capricorn doesn't react emotionally. They compartmentalize it. Sensitivity exists beneath the surface, not on display. Vulnerability feels risky, so emotions are processed only after control is restored. Capricorn feels deeply, but discipline acts as armor, making them appear unaffected even when they're quietly absorbing everything. Number 10, Sagittarius, selectively sensitive. Sagittarius is sensitive in theory, but avoids sitting in it. Psychology links them to optimism bias and emotional avoidance, meaning they instinctively reframe discomfort into humor, philosophy, or movement. Hurt feelings get brushed off as not that deep. They're rarely offended, but when something threatens their freedom, values, or sense of meaning, sensitivity spikes fast. Emotional heaviness drains them, so they escape it quickly. Sagittarius doesn't ignore pain, they outrun it. Sensitivity exists, but only when independence or purpose feels compromised. Number 9, Gemini, mentally sensitive, emotionally mobile. Gemini is highly sensitive to words, tone, and subtle shifts in conversation. Psychology ties them to high cognitive sensitivity, meaning they notice everything immediately. But emotional impact doesn't linger the same way it does for others. They feel quickly, react mentally, and move on just as fast. Gemini processes sensitivity through thought, not emotion. A sharp comment registers instantly, but it rarely sinks deep unless it's repeated. Their sensitivity is fast and surface level, like a radar that detects everything without absorbing the emotional weight for long. Number 8, Aries, reactively sensitive. Aries is sensitive in the moment, not in memory. Psychology links them to high emotional reactivity, meaning feelings hit fast and hard before logic steps in. When something hurts, Aries reacts instantly, usually with anger, intensity, or confrontation, because that's how their nervous system processes discomfort. But the sensitivity burns out quickly. They don't dwell, replay, or internalize for long. Aries feels first, explodes, and then moves on. Their sensitivity is loud but short-lived, more like a spark than a bruise. What hurts them fast also leaves fast. Number 7, Leo, ego-sensitive. Leo sensitivity is tied directly to pride and identity. Psychology connects them to ego-based emotional processing, meaning they're most affected by disrespect, dismissal, or being ignored. Leo can handle criticism if it feels fair, but anything that undermines their worth cuts deep. They're not sensitive to everything, only to what threatens their sense of importance. When they feel valued and appreciated, their sensitivity softens dramatically. But when attention fades or admiration disappears, emotional reactions intensify. Leo's sensitivity lives where self-esteem and recognition intersect. Number 6, Virgo, internally sensitive. Virgo is far more sensitive than they let on, but they turn that sensitivity inward. Psychology links them to rumination and hyper-self-awareness, meaning they absorb criticism deeply and replay it privately. Virgo doesn't react emotionally on the surface. They analyze, internalize, and self-correct. Even small comments can echo for days in their mind. They feel pressure to improve, fix, and optimize themselves constantly. Virgo's sensitivity isn't dramatic or visible. It's quiet, mental, and exhausting. They don't lash out, they overthink, and that's where the emotional weight lives. Number 5, Taurus, slow burn sensitivity. Taurus doesn't react quickly, but that doesn't mean they aren't sensitive. Psychology ties them to emotional inertia, meaning it takes time for feelings to fully register. At first, Taurus seems unbothered, steady, even stubbornly calm. But once something does hurt them, it settles deep and stays there. Taurus feels slowly but intensely. They don't forget emotional wounds easily, especially when trust or security is threatened. Their sensitivity isn't explosive. It's heavy. What affects Taurus lasts longer than most people realize. Number 4, Libra, environmentally sensitive. Libra's sensitivity is environmental rather than internal. Psychology links them to emotional attunement, meaning they instinctively absorb the mood, tone, and emotional balance of their surroundings. Conflict, tension, or raised voices affect them immediately, even if they aren't directly involved. They're not overly sensitive to criticism itself. They're sensitive to disharmony. When things feel unfair, tense, or emotionally unbalanced, Libra feels unsettled and stressed. Their sensitivity pushes them to smooth things over, restore peace, and regulate the emotional temperature of the room before it overwhelms them. Number 3, Scorpio, intensely sensitive, deeply guarded. Scorpio is extremely sensitive. They just hide it better than almost anyone. Psychology ties them to deep emotional intensity, combined with strong emotional defenses. They feel everything at full volume, especially betrayal, disrespect, or emotional shifts. But instead of reacting outwardly, Scorpio locks it down. Sensitivity turns into vigilance, suspicion, and control. They don't bruise easily, but when they do, the wound runs deep. Scorpio's sensitivity is dangerous because it's buried. What hurts them doesn't fade. It transforms into memory, power, and long-term emotional impact. Number 2, Pisces, emotionally porous. Pisces is sensitive because their emotional boundaries are thin. Psychology links them to emotional permeability, meaning they absorb not only their own feelings, but everyone else's too. Moods, tones, and unspoken emotions seep in effortlessly. They often feel overwhelmed without knowing why. Pisces doesn't just feel pain. They experience it, sometimes on behalf of others. This makes them compassionate and deeply empathetic, but also emotionally exhausted. Their sensitivity isn't selective, it's constant. Without strong boundaries, Pisces can drown in emotional input they never asked for. Number 1, Cancer, the most sensitive sign. Cancer takes the top spot because their emotional reactivity is immediate, deep, and lasting. Psychology ties them to strong attachment bonds and emotional memory. They feel first, feel hardest, and remember longest. Tone shifts, subtle rejection, or emotional distance hit Cancer instantly. They don't just notice emotional changes, they feel them in their body. Their sensitivity drives empathy, protection, and deep care, but it also leaves them vulnerable. Cancer's emotions are always close to the surface, making them the most emotionally responsive sign in the zodiac. So, are you sensitive? Or emotionally insulated? Here's the psychology. Sensitivity isn't weakness. It's perception and nervous system responsiveness. It can create empathy, creativity, and deep connection, but only when it's understood and managed. Knowing how sensitive you are changes how you communicate, love, and protect yourself. Drop your sign below and be honest. Do you feel everything or almost nothing at all? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get all the updates.